Think of the clean girl aesthetic. There are like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who support and believe in it. To them, that's not the bad part of TikTok. That's the best part of TikTok. And what the algorithm does is it curates these parts specifically for them. So like, you're not seeing the clean girl aesthetic. I'm not seeing the clean girl aesthetic. I'm not on Skinny Talk. You guys aren't on Skinny Talk. But guess what? There are hundreds of thousands of people on that part of the internet, and they're loving it. All right, what's up, guys? You're here with Rashawn and my co-hosts,
Camilla.
And I'm Ricardo.
Well, Ricardo's a new addition. Treat him nice.
Yeah, nice. Guys, get to know him. He's going to be in our future references and everything, so
all right, and you're here for Echoes of the Feed. Now, in today's episode, we'll be talking about the role of social media in shaping youth identity and self-expression. How do social media platforms influence self-image, creativity, and the formation of social groups? So, before we kick off into all that, I've got to ask you guys, how do you think social media has affected you?
It makes me go to a point where every day, if not like every other time, I'm over here waiting for like people to text me on the phone, or like I'm always looking at my phone. It doesn't matter. Like if I want to start a new schedule, I have to go through my phone. Like my phone is always in my hands, honestly.
Okay. I feel like it's changed me a lot to the point where I have to actually like think about the things I do or wear or anything, like, because I feel like how I am on social media, I have to be on, well, it is like that. They have to be like that in real life. But I think it's changed me to the point where I feel like I'm different in both ways, you know? Like, I'm just different on social media and in real life. Yeah, I don't know why, but I think it's just how the community, like, impacts you. But, yeah.
Okay.
So what about social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that? How do you think those platforms have influenced you?
I'm not really on TikTok, but the times I am on it, I feel like it really doesn't change. I think it's mostly Instagram because that's where you see, like, a lot of more people your age and, like, your friends, I would say your followers. And, yeah, well, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I just get influenced by that.
Mainly Instagram?
Yeah, mainly Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you be catching him talking smack on the net.
So, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever done any Instagram trends?
No. Usually all I do is post myself, like, what I wear. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't really like dancing, you know, because I just, like, don't really like it in general. Just, like, following trends and dancing, I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I get that. For me personally, as I'm sure you guys already know, I don't really have much social media. I really only have TikTok. And here's the thing. I feel like TikTok, it kind of warps my perspective on things. Because I was talking about this with Clifton, our producer. And we were discussing what is called Mormon Housewives, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. And essentially, I saw this one video of a Mormon housewife, and what she was doing was her baby got diagnosed with like some sort of disease or something along those lines, and she was dancing over his cradle. Like in the hospital, this Mormon housewife was dancing as her baby was like diagnosed with like a really bad disease. Like the kid was in the ICU, and this is like a young infant, and then like this Mormon influencer just dancing. It was hilarious. The public backlash was crazy. But as a result of not just this, but, you know, just a lot of things I see about Mormon housewives, I do kind of think Mormons are crazy. Because, like, I think there's another narrative that Mormons, they'll do ketamine, but they won't drink coffee, right? They don't drink coffee, but they love soda. So now it's kind of warped my perspective on how Mormons are, because I've never met an actual Mormon. So now I do kind of think Mormons are a bit crazy. And I feel like that's just the most notable example I can think of off the top of my head of how TikTok's influenced me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
I feel like at the end of the day, like people, in my opinion, I think people that kind of feel, like what Camila said on the other podcast, I think it's like people that follow up with trends just kind of, it's not that they don't have attention, but they're just trying to seek for something new. And I don't know, I just feel like I don't know, I just feel that way in general, like about people who try to follow up with trends and everything. I don't really like it because I don't find a point to having other people, like people that you don't even know, like try to have a piece of your life, and they just, at the end of the day, they don't matter because they're not going to be there, like, when you're, like, they're not going to give you money when you have $0 in your bank account. I just don't. I'm sorry, I just keep stuttering, but I don't think, like, that, you know? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh my gosh, you're going crazy.
That's your new phrase, huh?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think trends are good. You know, like it doesn't mean you're copying somebody, but it means you caught on to somebody and you found it nice and cool. And I feel like some trends are good, but some trends are bad. Like, you know, there's them healthy trends where like you could be having fun, like just making a simple dance trend or something. But then there's the other trends that are like, oh, like how to live your life and stuff like that. And that's the kind of stuff I don't agree with because it's like live your life how you want, you know? So I could agree with Ricardo on some things, just not all of them.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I feel like the biggest thing. Here's the thing. The biggest thing about these social media trends is how big they can get. Like, think of the ice bucket challenge. What? I think Trump and Obama, they did the ice bucket challenge. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not exactly sure in what it was supportive. I think it was like mental health or something.
Was it?
It was like Speak Your Mind Challenge, no?
No, I think it was for like a college that started it. I don't know. It was something about a college for sure because they were like MCU something.
It was UFC Speak Your Mind Challenge.
UFC Speak Your Mind Challenge,
Yeah.
yeah. So speak your mind, basically. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Okay, Ricardo, I see it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was the biggest trend yet because it was like people you knew were doing that trend, people that you knew were like famous were doing that trend, and then everybody did it. I mean, still to this day, I be seeing clips on TikTok of like I guess mess ups, like little clips that were messed up, like bloops of like
Bloopers,
yeah, people like
just
throwing
failing.
the bucket, falling, all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah.
I think I even remember those days. I actually, like, what time period was that around, actually?
That was I think during the summer, no?
This
It
summer?
was the beginning of
It
this
was
year.
at the beginning of this year, I think.
It was the very beginning of this year.
Yeah, like, I have bad memory, forgive me. But I remember, like, a lot of my friends were talking about it around that time. It got, like, really popular.
Yeah. I mean, we never did it, but
Why can't I hear my... Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like what other trend was there that like was big?
I think that was the biggest one this year.
Like that was the biggest one this year. Like what? Cause other than that, there really wasn't much a trend besides like Alabama Barker and Bad Baby. That was like the two that like was beef, but it was like people were jumping into the train, talking smack. So yeah, that was like one of the other trends.
Have you guys ever thought about hidden trends? Like, trends that people are going along with but you don't really hear about?
No, not really.
Okay, so here's the thing. Think of skinny talk, or think of the clean girl aesthetic. I think we mentioned this before. Mm-hmm. But, like, you don't often hear people talking about skinny talk. But you don't really often hear people talking about, oh my god, the clean girl aesthetic. But it's got an influence. It's a trend that's got such a pervasive influence in the world around us that so many people are hopping on. Like, if you go on TikTok and you search skinny, or you go on TikTok and you search, oh my god, what's it called again? The clean girl aesthetic. Oh my god,
that's
sorry.
what I was gonna say.
Memory for goldfish, right? Or the clean girl aesthetic. You'll see thousands of people with millions of views and so many likes just posting about their lifestyles.
Yeah.
So it's one of those examples of trends that you don't really hear about all that often, but are just so popular. Now it's got you thinking. It's like it's got you to wonder, like, why are some trends kind of hidden? Like, why do you not hear about certain trends?
I don't know. I feel like certain trends stay unnoticed because of the fact that they promote like violence, and y'all know already, like, or it promotes like it just promotes bad, and like when it promotes bad, like I guess social media won't shine it out there, but it'll show it around, you know, like it'll point it out and stuff. So yeah, I feel like that's like the biggest thing about it. I don't know. What do you think, Rick?
Yeah, I think the same thing, and I feel like that social media only shows you what they want you to see, and not what like the worst parts about it. Only show you like why you should get it. Oh, Instagram's this. Look at this. Oh, TikTok this. But they don't show you the bad parts. You know. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
In my opinion.
Bad part is, like, it's an opinion. Because here's the thing: think of the clean girl aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
There are like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who support and believe in it. To them, that's not the bad part of TikTok. That's the best part of TikTok. And what the algorithm does is it curates these parts specifically for them. So like you're not seeing the clean girl aesthetic. I'm not seeing the clean girl aesthetic. I'm not on Skinny Talk. You guys aren't on Skinny Talk. But guess what? There are hundreds of thousands of people on that part of the internet, and they're loving it.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the thing. I like to go on TikTok, and I like to engage, right? Like right now, I'm on Gym Talk, and Gym Talk has a lot of overlap with incel talk and eating disorder talk. Let me explain that a bit. So, like, for Gym Talk specifically, it prioritizes a style of self-improvement that's not especially dissimilar from looks maxing, which is a part of incel ideology. And then the restrictive lifestyle and eating habits of someone who goes to the gym and wants to gain muscle isn't especially dissimilar from someone who does have an eating disorder. So there's a lot of overlap there. And what I do is I'll just engage with these videos, right? So I am currently on eating disorder talk, and I'm going to be honest, it is so sad. It is like genuinely, it is so sad. You'll be seeing these videos with millions of views about these young girls just bragging about the fact that they have bulimia. And for those who don't know, bulimia is a mental illness which causes you to like vomit up the food you eat. So anything you eat, you just vomit it up. Right? They'll be bragging about bulimia or anorexica. And anorexia is that disease that makes you just not want to eat anything, right? Mm-hmm. So you'll have these people on the internet, and they'll be bragging about all these like, negative health effects that they're having, and they'll be getting so much support or a lot of like negative comments. But here's the thing: the algorithm, it only gives these videos to people who engage with it. So there's like a whole side of the internet that you never see because you're not engaged with it. And here's the thing: what I'm thinking is, it kind of creates a sort of echo chamber, right? Yeah. Because if all the people that interact with your videos are people who agree with your ideology, then your ideology is just consistently reinforced. Think back to those girls with anorexia and bulimia. Like they're on the internet, they're bragging about it, and people support it. So they think they have support when in actuality these are dangerous mental illnesses that could lead to death or injury.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really interesting to see how social media can create these echo chambers, and think how this can create like digital friend groups. Like you often hear about people forming parasocial relationships with influencers, and that's kind of what's happening in these echo chambers. People, they see something influencers post, and then what ends up happening is they agree, they follow the influencer, they get some gratification from that, and they keep on releasing more and more content like that. So now what you have is you kind of have this one big digital friend group that keeps on reinforcing each other and just like reinforcing their ideologies. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I think it's just crazy. I wouldn't consider it something to brag about, like, you know, what you said. I'm sorry, I didn't remember the name. I just think it's like crazy how people think. Yeah,
exactly. Sorry. And that's why you're not on eating disorder talk. Because you don't connect with that specific experience. But to those who do, it's like, wow. And they engage with it. They comment, they like, they save, they repost. And then the algorithm just keeps on sending them more and more videos like that.
Yeah, why do you I'm sorry, but why do you think that people would like watching that?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like it's just connection and a shared experience, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, let's imagine you have bulimia, right? Yeah. And you're thinking, oh, my God, I have bulimia. I'm so skinny. My waist is so snatched. Look at me. I'm a pretty bitch. Oh, my God, right? Yeah. So imagine you're there, you have bulimia, because a lot of times people with these mental disorders, they don't necessarily think of it as a bad thing. So you have bulimia, and then you're feeling really confident, and then you decide to post something on TikTok. And then people who also agree with that, what they'll do is they'll comment, they'll also bookmark your video. Now, here's the thing. It's not that everyone on Eating Disorder Talk likes the content. It's just that they engage with the content. Yeah. And then more and more if it gets pushed towards them. So, like, if I were to leave a negative comment on some person's video about how much they love bulimia, I would still keep on getting more and more videos about eating disorders because I engaged with it. Oh, yeah. And that's what the algorithm does. It creates these subgroups within within peoples, right?
Yeah.
And that's what helps create the echo chamber, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like sorry y'all. I hopped in now, but like it's because I've been sitting back listening, and personally, I think most of it comes from just people. Honestly, like I don't even think it's social media anymore. Like I really do believe it has to do with people, cause people like supporting that kind of stuff. That's just mentally like ill or something. Cause it's like, why are you supporting somebody being wrong? But that's the thing. People will always support you when you wrong than when you good, when you live in life. And that's why I just don't play with social media like that. Like, if I'm on social media, it's for my own good, for what I'm trying to do, what makes me happy. And, yeah, because that's just weird to me. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't never want somebody praising me for having some eating disorder. That's the dumbest thing to, like, do. And then it's like, at the end of the day, if they were like coming up to, oh, like they like that, that was just because they was like, oh, that's the easiest way to lose weight, you know? And I don't like that, because it's like, nah, like there's every way possible. Everyone just tries to take the shortcut out, but it's like, take the right way. Like, go work out. Like you said, there's that one trend of being in the gym. Go look at them. Like, go work out. Go get your summer body work for it. Like, what? But yeah, y'all, I feel like people on social media are very, I don't know how to explain, they're snakes, you know, like figuratively, like they're snakes, you know, because it's like, what? That's weird to me. I'm sorry. Like, I found that so weird.
Here's the thing. I feel like it is just people. As we discussed in a next episode on cyberbullying, the anonymity that social media brings allows people to let these dark and heinous parts of themselves just roam free.
Yeah. And I feel like, in general, like, the only reason why you could even have social media to blame in it is because they're not taking action to, like, control that kind of stuff, you know, which that's something that, like, they should focus on, like, take control. Like, you made this app, stand to the rules, you know, because I don't like the fact that TikTok be talking about some, oh, yeah, you can't post this, and then here I'm finding out that there's a skinny talk. Like, what? Now I'm offended. It's like, that don't make sense to me, you know, because it's like, bro, what is you talking about? So I can't make a post where I'm just showing that I'm happy, and because it'll violate a guideline on quote, right? But, like, skinny talk doesn't violate any guidelines. Like, that's weird. But, yeah, so I feel like social media isn't the problem. Like, it's in the problem for sure. Like, it's not all the way out there. But, like, definitely people are more to blame than social media, because as people, we shouldn't be acting like that, where we're putting other people down on social media, or we're showing off things that shouldn't even be a thing, you know. Like, we all go to the doctors every day getting checked out, so it's like we all know what a healthy body is. So why is it that we're promoting a healthy body, instead we're promoting all these, like, disgusting, like, health problems and stuff? Like, why, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think?
The same way. Well, yeah, just the same way. Sorry. I didn't do much.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I feel like these social media platforms, they don't regulate this kind of content because it's ultimately beneficial for them.
Right.
Because as long as you're engaging with TikTok, as long as you're still seeing the ad, they're still making a profit. So it's not in their best interest to have these harsh rules and prevent certain people, even though they may be bad people who say atrocious things, like, it's not in their best interest to get rid of them because they're still profitable.
Right.
For instance, have you guys heard of 4chan? You've never heard of 4chan? Oh my God.
Sorry.
Have you heard of 4chan?
It sounds like I maybe have, but I don't know.
So 4chan is this website on the internet where
Nope.
people...
Never heard of it. My bad.
Yeah. Where people can basically just gather, create communities, and discuss as they please. It's essentially a kind of Reddit before Reddit. And you guys have heard of Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
have.
love
Okay,
Reddit.
okay.
Love Reddit.
So the creator of 4chan He is a like a disabled dwarf, and when he created 4chan, he actually I don't mean that in like an offensive way, right? But like when he created 4chan, he admits this. He hated himself. So what happened is, as he hated himself and the way he looked more and more, he eventually fell into incel ideology, which helped him create this 4chan website. Now, after 4chan was created, it became a hub for incels. By the way, incel means involuntary celibate, and so it means involuntarily celibate, and it refers to a specific group of ideologies that are basically not in line with the status quo and are just overall pretty negative. Have you guys heard of stuff like looks maxing?
Looks maxing. No,
right. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know a lot of stuff.
So what happens is
Social.
Incels believe that certain people, specifically men, are better than others, and then there's a hierarchy amongst men, right? And then incels, they believe that through looks maxing, they can become more and more attractive. They have ranks for this. I don't remember the ranks for this, but they have all this. They have all this derogatory language for black people, Jewish people, women. Like, I think incels calls women foids or something like that. And talk about raping them. And it's crazy. All right. So with this quick definition of incel, what happened was the author created a 4chan, and then he started posting incel content.
Yeah.
And then this attracted other incels. And then what happened was you had this incel community. Now, this incel community, it started to proliferate and get worse and worse as more and more negative thoughts and ideologies kind of spread into it. And what happened was it eventually became this hub of, I'm going to be honest, pretty pathetic people just going there and hating on whichever marginalized group they could think of. So they'd hate on black people, they'd hate on women, they'd hate on Jewish people, they'd hate on Indians.
This sounded like Twitter. It sounded like
right?
Twitter.
So, and that's the similarity that so many facets of social media have with each other. They become these places where people can gather and express all these negative ideologies in one place and have those negative thoughts affirmed and just build upon them by other individuals. It becomes this hub of negative activity.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what 4chan is.
I think that just brings back the point that I was trying to say, that if you realize you can go right now, like on TikTok, I would say, and you just won't see the bad things. Like I just said it, it's social media only wants you to see what they want you to see. Like, they literally control you, know what I'm saying? So, like, you can post some really bad stuff, and they just will like, oh, this is bad. This is going to make me look bad. This is going to make me look like, this is going to just take people attention off TikTok, so they just move it somewhere else. And then, yeah, I just feel like at the end of the day, it just, social media kind of controls what it is that you guys want to see, you know? I don't know. I just think that brought back the point that I was trying to do.
I think definitely, because I just remember this. It doesn't have nothing, like, it wasn't nothing targeted specifically, at least I don't think so. But I know, like, it was during 2020-something, there was a video that circled around that somebody on Facebook Live had, you know, ended their life. Tell me not. Y'all, it took more than 24 hours to get that video removed from the whole, like, media. Because it was going all around TikTok. It was going all around Instagram, Twitter, all that. And it took so long for people to get that off of social media. And at one point, TikTok gave up. Like, people started seeing the video. Yeah. And I just find that nasty because, like Ricardo's saying, it'll only show what a viewer pleases to view. Because I know definitely they just stopped removing it because it was going viral. Like, people were going crazy knowing that they just witnessed somebody, you know? So it's just, like, definitely, it's more the people and what they do on social media, which I feel like some things should be checked out. Like, that's federal. That they should be checked out. Like, why'd you want to see somebody, like, go through something so hard? Like, what? So it's just like, definitely social media has a big toll on supporting people and their strange likings, for sure.
And here's the thing, it's not just social media. it's the people and social media kind of working together to form this kind of negativity. Because you have the people, and what social media does, as I've said before, it gives them the anonymity and the ability to be as negative as possible without facing any serious consequences.
Right.
So what happens is people on social media tend to be more negative. And what happens is it kind of feeds into other people.
Yeah.
People see this negativity and they feel like they can become more negative, which is why. And here's the thing: it's also like compounded by the fact that even negative content generates profit for these social media companies. So all this negativity and the social media platforms aren't doing nothing to prevent it or stop it. And then social media eventually just kind of becomes more and more toxic as time progresses, because people go on social media, they act toxic. And then when new people join, they see the toxicity and they feel like they can be toxic.
Yeah.
So you formed this like group, this community of toxicity. Because what social media fundamentally does is, a lot of it creates community, and that community builds upon itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could agree with y'all on everything. We're all giving good big points about the fact that it all just adds up on how a human thinks and
Yeah.
what they like. So I feel like in general, I feel like people need to start getting more checked, honestly. Like, I feel like there should be a set rule on what, because ain't no way all social media is going to be supporting what everybody likes. Like, there should be certain things on there, because at the end of the day, we don't just have adults lurking on social media anymore. We have children, like straight up children. So it's just like, I feel like social media needs to take a stand up and try to,
Try to fix the
actually
problem?
look,
Regulate these things.
Yeah, regulate, like look into it,
And here's the craziest part. By engaging in these negative spaces on social media, it starts to corrupt you and have this negative influence that can bleed into real life. So think of kids on the internet. I was around these kids recently. It was at the rec center where we were doing those street side interviews. And before you got in there, because my eyes were burning, so I decided to go in, wash out my eyes. And I heard these kids, and they were talking some crazy stuff. They were mentioning how Indian people were curry munchers, and just they were being racist, they were being homophobic. And I was like, damn, these are little kids. And then as I walked by them, I saw them scrolling on TikTok, and I thought, that's it, right? These young children, what happens is social media, it has such a more profound effect on them. They see these negative things on social media, and they don't have the better judgment of someone who's older to know, oh, this is just digital. What happens is they incorporate it into their persons, and then they take it out into real life, and they act that way in real life. So what we're doing is, the future generations are kind of getting corrupted more and more by social media. And you can see this in like how little kids talk. Like, think of the words skibbity. Like, have you guys heard that?
Yeah.
Or like, have you guys heard of Riz?
No, we're too old in the dates. You heard too stop.
Yeah, we're too old for
What's
that.
What's her name? Ballerina Cappuccina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just weird. I feel like it might be.
Yeah, that's so
I don't know.
I don't like it. What are the names of these things? Like, what is this? What is this tea we're talking about? Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't like that.
And it's crazy that it is. It's an example of social media bleeding into reality, because we have these niche references, these niche words that a specific subgroup, a specific community has engaged with and used, and then it interacts with more and more people. It gets more and more engagement, and then what ends up happening is people see it, more and more people see it, and then it starts to bleed into reality, especially through children. Like I said, children don't have that better judgment, which is why you'll see children using all these brain rot words.
Yeah.
Like, which is why you often hear like kids be like, oh, skibbity, riz, get out, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because social media has so much more of a profound impact on them than anyone else.
Yeah. I think by that you can also tell how social media has changed throughout the years, because if you somehow go back in time and look at social media, it was really more different than how it is now. Like, if you actually just start
Definitely.
thinking about it, yeah, I feel like it's changed a lot throughout the time.
Yeah, 'cause like I feel like No, definitely. Now
Yeah.
people like you seen it. People just lip sync. Like they don't really
Yeah.
move the camera. They just make themselves look good. While like if you look at it in 2020, people were like making them edits
Yeah.
themselves with that camera, like the
This is the vibration on your phone.
the vibration of
But,
each other
yeah.
hand. They would be like,
Like when
Like
I
videos.
was younger and Musically was still a thing before it was called TikTok. I remember myself.
Wait.
It was like Musically.
yeah,
TikTok
you
was
didn't
called
know that?
Musically.
You didn't
Yeah.
know that? That was like the first thing for TikTok. It's the same way as for Twitter.
And Twitter.
It was Twitter first. Now it's X.
Musically was the original name of TikTok,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then it got changed to
To
TikTok.
TikTok. Yes.
Are you-
Tell me
you're
not Musically sounds better.
Yeah.
No,
Can't
not
judge.
really. The Musically is more
What?
specific. TikTok's
well-
feels a lot broader, you know. I feel like Musically would only attract a certain audience.
Yeah, but like that's why I feel like, yeah, what I was saying, when I was younger, I mean, this might sound weird. I don't care. It's cringy too, but I would really only look at the camera, and start lip singing. Like I would get influenced by other people. Like when I was younger, I didn't care. I'll be watching Charlie D'Amelio, all of that, and then I'll just be like getting influenced by them. I'll be like, oh, that's cool nowadays. Let me do this, instead of like thinking what actually is me, you know. So I just feel like I try to get into the trends just to fit in. And then that's when I started realizing that these people aren't going to be here for me. Like, I don't really find a point. That's what I was trying to talk about. I didn't really find a point to, like, following into trends for no point. Just for, like, because, like, you feel loved. Well, how do I say this? Well, in my opinion, I would only want to like if I want to feel loved or famous. Like, at this point, there's no point to having a like. If I post something good, if I get a like, good. If not, you know, it's just me. I'm trying to give you guys a piece of my life of what I'm doing now, and I don't really care if you guys give me a like, if you guys give me a follow. It just really doesn't matter for me, in my opinion. Yeah.
What do you think, Rashawn? Like, if you was to post a picture, would you care about how many likes you get or no?
Initially, no. Here's the thing: if I posted a picture and it got a lot of likes, and then it would encourage me to post another picture just for the gratification.
Right.
And then if I post another picture and it got less likes, I'd be a bit disappointed. But initially, if my like first photo is just unpopular, I wouldn't really care.
You know, y'all, that must be nice. I would care all the time. Like, bro, if I don't get more than 100 likes, we throw hands. Because that just means I'm ugly. No, I'm playing. Y'all. I said it. I'm cute. Like, what?
Yeah. But, like, now that you just said that, I mean, I'm remembering when I was in 6th grade. I'm never going to lie. I did get bullied, and that's why I feel like I've changed a lot. Well, than how I was in 6th grade. Because, I mean, people... I mean, okay, so I'm just not going to say names. There's this kid, right? And he started calling me weird names, right? I didn't even listen to him because I didn't understand him. He was he had an accent. I didn't understand him, so I would start laughing in his face, right? I felt like the bully because I felt like, I talked to my mom about it. She's like, well, why are you laughing at him? Now you're making yourself the bully instead of him. I started thinking about, I was like, why am I caring about what other people are thinking about me? Like, why?
Right.
It's just no point. I mean, like, I'll keep saying, like, they're not going to be here when I die or when I have $0 in my bank account. They're not going to be there for me when I'm older. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't really care about that. I mean, my mom said this a lot of times, that there's only one family, but there's a lot of friends. You can have a lot of friends to lose, but there's one family that you can't lose. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I worry more about what my family got to say than other people, because they're just humans to me. Like, they're people on this planet that I really don't care about.
See, Rashawn, you know how yesterday on our last podcast you had said, oh, yeah, that people can't be tough. They can't do their own stuff. Look at him. Here's a prime example.
That's what
I
I
didn't
was
say
saying.
people
I
can't
feel
be
like
tough.
Yes, you did. You said, what if some people can't, like, you know, overcome those kind of issues at the time. Like, if they're getting cyberbullied, they can't stand that. I said it. Anybody could do it. If you don't believe in yourself, you kind of just whack. You don't even like, that's like, you know how people say, like, if you want to do something in life, you gotta believe in yourself. believe in yourself. Like, swear.
Well, I think I just
Prime
learned
example.
it. I say this all the time. You have to learn things. If you don't learn it the first time, you got to learn it from the worst, like from a bad moment.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned. I was like, oh, I don't. Well, no, not me. I didn't learn nothing. But he learned. He's like, I told you stop now. Next time I'm just gonna punch you in the mouth. That's how I feel like. But I think that's not like appropriate. So that's why I just talk. I don't. I like she said. I don't promote violence, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. That's really all I gotta say. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm sorry, but I can't even lie no more because of, like, how we're figuring out it's more people. Sometimes people got to get a taste of their own medicine, you know? And I feel like social media needs to click, you know? Like, I don't know why. Like, it's some way TikTok needs to start straightening out when it comes to, like, these ugly trends because at the end of the day, TikTok knows what kind of people they have on their app. They know what age they got on there. They have, like, 14 plus on their thing. If you know 14-year-olds and older are on here, why are you promoting certain things that kids shouldn't even be doing at that age? And at the end of the day, there is younger kids. I know that. There's kids, in preschool already with the iPhone? What? But, like I'm saying, social media should take more of the initiative to make sure the content is right for children, and people should be assuring that they're speaking like that's their own family or siblings or whatever, because at the end of the day, there's digital footprint, there's family that's on there, and there's social media is just a big thing. It's like how we say the world isn't so big as we really think. It's like the same thing. Social media ain't as big as we really see it. Like, it's huge for sure, but it is not as big for you to be able to do something in it, not go unnoticed, you know? So definitely, I feel like people need to start realizing, like, hey, this is going on your record. Like, whether it's, like, social media record or anything, it's just going to go on file, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think?
I mean, I agree with you. TikTok really should have stricter regulations on what it allows on its platform. I doubt they will because less money, but still, they really should. Because, like I said before, these children, they don't have that good judgment. They're not judicious enough to make the right decisions and know what to engage with. So, social media is really just warping these kids' identity and their ability to express themselves as normal individuals without social media.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like also parents should start up again, because I don't know, I feel like parents have been giving up on children nowadays. And it's like, I feel like that's wrong because kids should still have their parents, both parents, not just one. But even then, it's like they should have their parents because at the end of the day, what you said about a kid being racist, that's weird to me because I've never heard of a kid being racist, at least at my time, I don't know how it's going on now that it's 2025 and it's like more for the new generation, but like still to this day, I feel like parents should be involved more in their like child's life. Don't just shut your kid up with the iPhone or a phone. In general, like put your kids some attention and understand them, because that's the reason why most kids are on social media, because it's like, oh, my mom gave me this phone, so I stopped bothering her, and then they scrolling on TikTok, they see all this stuff, because I be seeing my sister, bro, I be so, like, I be ready to beat her sometimes. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't support violence, like, nor parents beating on the kids, but no, because, bruh, sometimes, like, now the trends that I see for now than back then, I really feel like kids aren't learning anything, like, at all. I don't feel like kids learn anything but bad, and it's, like, to a point I be questioning, like, after this generation, is our generation going to be okay or no? Like, after our generation, what's going to happen? Like, is our world really for the end or what?
Literally.
Because, like, it's bad. Like, I don't even see my sister getting a job because I see the videos that she be watching, and I'm just like, what's she learning from me? Straight up. Because, like, all that stuff of, like, what we were talking about earlier, the cringy names, all that stuff, it's just like, what are we getting out of it? Straight up. Like, we're not getting anything. I really wish it was more, like, a little bit of science, a little bit of math. Because, honestly, like, that's going to be needed for the years coming up. And then it's, like, plus, or at least they should start up a social media for kids, because what is this? The mixing up for adults and children, because at the end of the day, adults, they already learned what they needed to learn, but like children, they still haven't learned even the basics, you know. So for sure, I feel like social media should have more of a separate thing. If they don't want to lose money, then separate it. Get an app for only children, like only children, and see what happens. You know, like I don't know, just giving ideas here. You know.
Yeah.
I can get with that.
All right, y'all think this the end of it?
Yeah.
This a wrap up?
Yes.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening.